Chapter 9. Everything. Now wait a minute, Paige. You're kidding with me, right? I asked, as Paige took out her hands. No, I swear, I overheard her telling the other maids to get the guest room ready for you, Lyon. Well, there must be a reason for that, I said as I walked to the end of the room, opened up the window, sat down and started combing my hair. Paige walks in, breaks on the door, and sits on my bed and looks at me. Why did you lock the door? I asked. It's a door, not a human. Still though. Anyways, what are you thinking of doing? Nothing for now. Why are you so calm about it? As if you like it. Please don't do that. Keeping calm is the key of being in high tides, you ceiling fool. By the way, can you do one more thing for me before you go into the shower? I asked. I don't know what it is, but you never know, she said as she laughed. I got up, walked towards the coming, facing the window, opened up the first drawer, putting the comb back and took out the box. Walked toward Paige, sat on the bed and gave her the box. She looks at me strangely. Relax, Paige. You ain't gonna die, I said to reassure her. What am I supposed to do with that? Throw out the window, haha, she said. She opened up the box and there were many surveillance cameras, all black ones. I've been taking care of it over the last few years just in case I needed it or have use for it. I personally have a hiding room nobody knows about except for Paige, where I take care of important documents, recording, notes, and the list going on. I brought a few things with me then, things that I felt I have use for, or may have use for. While I'm surrounded by my family. My guts have been worrying me several times before I arrived not to visit my family, no matter what the news is coming. Sounds brutal, doesn't it? But if you see it that way, how do you think we have been staying far away and keep our secret hiding all these years? Question mark. But this time it was completely impossible to stay away when I heard about my stepbrother getting married. I felt that I could have not done that to him or his wife. Even though the word failure gets around the family, I don't want the people I actually care about to think the same way about me or Paige or even my daughter, even though they don't know about her yet. Because we're not one of them. Ever since Paige told me about this family business, I've been starting to investigate and research the family business. I was not quite into it at the beginning, but after looking at the latest report, the annual report, and the contract, I've been noticing a big gap between the numbers and the time differences. That's when I realized they were doing something illegal, something that was the reason why we stayed away. The development of the family business has been interesting and has changed drastically for some time now that I'm thinking about it. Therefore, I felt that we needed to take precaution on whatsoever is about to come. Paige stood up, picked up the box, and looks at me. Got it, but one little thing. What if we would notice? She asked. I thought for a second she was about to ask what she's going to do about it. Turns out she did understood. Didn't answer back though. Just look at her. What are you planning to do? It's going to be all eyes on us the moment Lyon will put his feet in his house. You know that, right? Honestly, don't know yet. But do that first and then come to me when you're done. I said while getting up and walking towards Paige. The box was completely open. You could certainly see the contents from a far distance, and that was the last thing we needed right now. So I really quick closed the box and looked at Paige. I know why you're looking at me like that. It will be fine. We'll figure this out, said Paige. Open up the door. We must stand in front of Paige. Not too close though. It was a good distance between them. She pulls back so that Paige could pass through. While Paige was heading up to the room next door, Irma's looking at me as if she had seen a ghost, clapping her hands together, sweat running down her face, a red face as she had been, crying or grinning. I'm holding her arm and trying to get her to talk. She's looking at me and trying to say my name. Talk to her, she said. Who? Your daughter. What happened? Did she say something? Just do it. Go talk to her, she said. Before I could say anything, someone knocks on the door. She went downstairs and suddenly stopped. Didn't hear anything else. It became completely silent. Wanted to figure out what it was, but then became curious about what Irma just said. So I just stood there for a few seconds, and then I went back to my room, took my cell phone, turned off the light, and closed the door. I quick goes downstairs to check what's going on. Walked towards the door. Somehow, Irma's not there. Remarkable. I literally just heard her go downstairs. It took me a while to figure out what's going on, but then I realized it was something off with Irma. After all, she came out of my daughter's room. Maybe it is something my daughter's trying to tell me earlier, right before she got seizure. But what could have caused Irma to react like this? Before I could do anything, say anything, or react in any sort of way, someone knocks on the door again. It took a few minutes to open up the door, or what can I say, a few minutes to put myself together. I opened up the door. It was Paige's sister. She came with 3 pieces of luggage, as if she's going to move in. Hey, she said, and she gave me a hug. Somehow I had a mixed feeling. It's nice that she came, but why now? And didn't quite understand why she was here. But I just let her in. I said hi to her. I helped her taking in the luggage and closing the door. She looks at me. What's up, bro? I thought you would be happy to see me. What makes you say that I'm not? Your face? Your reaction? Well, the thing is that you show up in really bad timing, and at the same time, we didn't even knew you was about to come. What happened? She asked, as she took off her jacket, scarves, and shoe. Didn't answer back. Just pretend I didn't hear the question. So where is Paige? She's showering. Just come in. As we walk towards the living room, we see Uma coming out of one of the guest rooms. She went straight into the kitchen, as if she didn't notice us. Strange. But didn't show anything in front of the sister. So we went towards the living room and sat down. One of the maids came out of the kitchen and came towards us. So what would you like to drink? I asked. Something strong or less strong. Whiskey maybe, she said and looked at me. The maid nodded her head, turned around and walked towards the kitchen. I'm noticing she's looking at me, but I was in my own thoughts. 10 minutes later, or probably more than that, we heard someone coming out of one of those rooms. It was Paige. She walked downstairs and walked towards us. We get up. It's done, she whispered to me. It looks like from a distance we were hugging. So, what are you doing here? Paige asked as she walked past me and sat down. So did we. Nice to see you. Lol, that's not why I asked. I guess Mom and Dad are fine, right? Yeah, they're good. Glad to hear that, said Paige and smiled. It's nice to hear good news, but didn't quite understand why she was here at this time. She always welcome to come here. That was not the problem at all the issues. But it was a bit more that Paige warned me about her sister multiple times because of the story. Don't know so much about it, but what I do know is that they're pretty bad and intense to say so. After whatsoever happened between them, they have been in touch for decades, would I say. So today is kind of the first meeting after 7 years later, so naturally we want to know why she's here. Especially the idea that she have good contact with my family and Leon's family. Congrats. For what? You and Leo takes, I said, as I quickly look at my ring and look up again. I'm not so surprised that she already knows. She probably has spoke with my family or Leo's family, so we didn't thought of this as it was a bit strange. The maid came out with the drinks, put on the table, turns, and walked to the kitchen. Just a question though, how the hell do you know that? Asked Paige. Leo's sister told me, and she told me everything else that happened, she said while looking at Paige. Paige looks at me. You could see she was irritated. Over what? I couldn't understand. Started to wondering who the sister was or the person they were talking about. Funny connection. Isn't the same lady that we met in the office and the same lady that came by? Her character and behavior have been a big question mark for me ever since then. Could it be her or someone else I don't know about? It feels like I'm losing control. But a big part of me tells me that it's something Paige hasn't told me yet. Because one thing that I know is that it's more Paige knows than what she's letting on. I've been following her ever since we met the lady. She had been acting quite strange and back it up for a while. And when she's talking to me or having conversation with me, she's always changing topics. Oh wow, I cannot believe it. So you still have contact with her, even though I've told you several times to cut contact with her due to the fact that she's one of the reasons why we haven't spoken that long, Paige said. Just because you said it doesn't mean I have to follow it. Yes, you do, because I'm your goddamn big sister. So now do you realize I'm your sister, right? What are you even talking about? It became completely silent. She didn't answer back, but still kept in touch with her. Didn't know it would get completely out of hands. Of course I was aware there was something deep between them, but that deep I was not aware. I was looking at Paige and told her to calm down. Of course, let's not hide the best sister of the year, she said and stood up. So did we. Paige took down my arm, pushed me to the side and stood in front of her sister. What you gonna do? Beat me up? Again? She said. I leaned forward and stood between them. As I put Paige backward, didn't want the situation to be more intense than what it is. Can you guys stop? I screamed. Stop with what? Paige clearly wants to do something. Let her do it, bro, says her sister. What are you getting out of it? Is it that's why you came by? To open up the rooms, I said as we sat down. No, Paige, she came with threats. That's why I'm still in contact with her. Hold on a second, back it up. With what exactly, I ask. She looks at me and back to Paige. Paige knows exactly what I'm talking about. she said as she leaned forward, took the drink, and drank it right away without reacting. Looks like she couldn't get a use for that drink. What is it about then? I asked. The question was not directly to someone. It was a bit open question. But it would have been nice if her sister answered. What do you think will happen in next chapter? Well, it's only one way to find out. Stay tuned for chapter 10.